Welcome to What's on Your Napkin. My name is Jared Yellen, founder of Project 10K, and we have a special guest for our episode tonight. My man Kevin Cadet here with BAM, Black Angels Miami. Man, thank you for being here. Really appreciate you for coming on the show. I know that we have entrepreneurs coming to pitch. This is what you do. So but give a little context into your background and to what are you doing with BAM? What are you doing with Black Angels Miami?
I'm the executive director of Black Angels Miami. We are an angel investment group. So we're a non-profit. Essentially, we looked at the landscape of Miami pre-COVID and we said, hey, there's a lot of investment, a lot of energy in the tech space, but the landscape of angel investors, angel investors are individual investors who are the first checks in.
Yep, of course.
And it wasn't very diverse. Yeah. So I said, what are we going to do to change the landscape? And we were very intentional in our name, but by no means are we exclusive as far as our membership. And the companies we look at are in Miami and beyond, coast to coast. But we're an angel investment group. We're connecting angels with innovative early stage companies. Really exciting, and obviously with everything that's happening in Miami, it's a really exciting times. We're seeing a lot of great companies, and there's just so much momentum. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, so angels don't get enough credit though. Like they truly are angels, and I want to make sure that you realize the angel is the one that puts in the first dollars. Yeah. Like without the angel, there is often no innovation. Like there's no company, there's no next step. So when an angel sees potential in a napkin or something a little bit beyond a napkin, they're really making a bet. Like they're betting on, can this person fulfill on the vision they just painted? And in theory, that's where there's the most risk, because many people have false starts. They don't know what to do with the resources. In tech, as you know, like the majority of people that have tech ideas, they're not technical like me. So you're giving this person money that can't even solve their own problems. So they have to then first go out and find a team. And that's why we exist at Project 10K, to just remove that risk. And when the right team is present with the right infrastructure, it really does reduce the risk. And I'm really excited about the potential of building this really special partnership with you. You in particular, you have an incredible track record. What you've done with Black Angel Miami is amazing. There's an opportunity, obviously, to now do this in other major cities and around the world as well. I know it's part of what really drives you with this. And I'm excited to have you on this show. Because with this show, we have entrepreneurs that pitch us from around the world. And they pitch us their ideas. And most of these ideas, they're just on a napkin. They're a concept. But you know this. Every great company that exists today, it started on a napkin. It started as a concept.
Started a napkin, started while you're taking a shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Something happened and you wrote it down, and then that's the beginning.
And the entrepreneur never saw it as a napkin though, right? They saw it as that vision and they just consistently executed. We had this gentleman named Darren Prince come out to the show, but probably about a couple months ago. And Darren is the agent for many of the athletes and celebrities that we all know. Hulk Hogan, as an example, is one of his clients, and Ric Flair and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And he's the agent, and he was the agent for Hulk Hogan. We were talking about Hulk. I said, do you know that Hulk started on a napkin? It was like, he actually did. Like Hulk Hogan, who we all know, right? Like Hulk Hogan's one of the most symbolic figures in history. He literally started by writing his vision for himself on a piece of paper and didn't stop until it became a reality. So everything starts there. And that's what we're betting on. We're betting on finding the right person with the right idea and the right market and the right business model. And that's the purpose of this show. Having a safe place for entrepreneurs to pitch their big ideas. Pitch their big ideas with the hope and desire that we say yes, let's go into due diligence. And we want to say yes. Our goal is to say yes, but we need these entrepreneurs to show up, and I need your help. As you're watching us tonight, please help influence Kevin and I. If you see an idea that we don't see, if you're like, that's a really valuable napkin right there, let us know in the comments below. And at the same time, if you disagree with an idea, you stand against it politely, let us know why. Let us know why, because you will help influence our decisions. So with that, let's invite our first entrepreneur to share their napkin so that we can help them see whether or not there's potential here. So please invite the first entrepreneur. Art, bring him into the room. Let's do this, man. Let's rock and roll. Who is our first entrepreneur sharing their big idea?
What if there was a simple business toolkit that got you paid by your clients, customers, and patients? What if you can set up your account in seconds and begin benefiting from all of the features in minutes? What if this entire platform is free? Business Toolkit is revolutionizing the way small businesses and sole proprietors are running their businesses by enabling you to manage your sales process from one platform from start to finish. Imagine canceling your expensive scheduling software or discontinuing your clunky invoicing software, or eliminating your pricey task management software, and instead using one platform, your Business Toolkit, to drive your business forward. And don't forget, Business Toolkit is free. Sign up ASAP and begin saving money while you make way more money than ever before.
All right, who is our first entrepreneur sharing their big idea? What is your name and where are you calling from?
Lev Cooper from Williston, North Dakota.
Awesome, awesome. From North Dakota, we got Lev in the house. Have you ever been to North Dakota?
No.
I've not been to North Dakota either. I happen to think it's probably warmer where we are right now than North Dakota. What'd you say?
I'll put money on it.
Yes. I think we win the weather game right now. So listen, Lev, we are very excited to have you. Thank you for being here. You have 5 minutes. Please share what's on your napkin.
That is plenty of time. Can I do a screen share here?
Yeah, please do.
All right.
We've started to rate people on how well they use Zoom. That's one of the criteria. If you want to be a tech fan,
How
you have
efficient
to
you are as
navigate that share button.
That's why I need your guys' help. Is it going or do I have to do something differently? All right, well, let's give this a try. So
Okay, perfect.
this app, calling it 10x hiring, and I've actually talked with Jaron and Andrea before, but so this is but I revamped this amp. Originally we're calling it Rate a Hand, and now I changed it to 10x hiring. Basically I want to create the #1 hiring app to help make hiring a breeze. Problem I see now with hiring apps is it's just there's a lot of spam pushed out there, a lot of inadequate, mismatched employees to employers, and I don't feel like everybody gets the full experience they should be from hiring. For my solution, I want to create an app that takes hiring to the next step. We more closely match skills and mindsets for employees to employers. There's companies that have already done such, but we're going to take this all to the next level. Once you get matched fully to your employer, the hiring app will help set up interviews, whether it's in person, Zoom, or even through a metaverse platform. And the employer will also be able to have the ability to have an HR representative that will help take the prospect all the way to the employee onboarding stage. That's why this app will stand out from other hiring apps on the market. Basically, right now, I've been a business owner for the last 4 years, managing this company for over 5 years. We have currently 80 employees, and my biggest thing is I faced all the struggles of hiring. Obviously, the last couple of years, I think everybody has, but I've been really focused on something to change the hiring process and the setup of hiring over the last couple of years. And I try to have a 10x mindset with everything. I mean, I've been following Grant Cardone here for the last couple of years. Went to the first event back in December, and I have a constant growing imagination. So my solution, 10x hiring systems will oh, we already went over that. Sorry, things went back. So economic model here. This hiring app, it'll be free to employees trying to sign on, and employers can start off with a free trial, but the plans will go from $5 a month to $500 a month, and each package will have a discount of 20% for an annual plan. And the basic hiring app will just be, your standard resumes, and the higher up you go with the packages, we'll offer more, such as the finalized package will offer everything from helping fully match employees. It'll help the interview process, so interviews can be set up through the app, and the full onboarding. So an HR representative will help the whole process to fully make it a full-on experience to process hiring. So my go-to market strategy, I've already been talking to friends and families. I've talked to people in the 10X mastermind group I'm in, other business owners I know. once we get this thing pushing through, we'll start advertising on Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse, Instagram, and eventually advertise everywhere. I was really excited to do this before GrowthCon because I'm going to be there, heading down there tomorrow afternoon. And I mean, I plan on sharing with everybody I meet down there. And why are you guys the perfect partner for me? Because I looked at this, I've changed the name of this app a few times, but I landed on 10X hiring because the only way I could describe it is that it will bring hiring to 10X level. You know, I don't have the tech background. Obviously, I kind of struggled with the Zoom a bit, but I think you guys have a strong team. I think what you're doing is amazing. And I hope to be able to partner with you guys one day. The thing that takes this app to the next level and really truly makes it different than anything that's out there at the moment is we will incorporate the metaverse. So you'll be able to fully interview and hire employees in the metaverse. I mean, finalizing the onboarding stage of hiring, shaking hands, and actually feeling it through new metaverse technology. That's 10X hiring. That's all.
Awesome. Lev from North Dakota, thank you so much. You can stop sharing your screen now. Let's chat. So thank you for coming back with a vengeance and getting even deeper into your idea. So there's this whole concept, and I'm sure you see this because you see so many pitches, where when we look for the right market, there's two extremes in the market. There's the red ocean, which is a really competitive marketplace, and the red ocean is a race to the bottom. It's a bloody territory, right? Because everybody's just fighting for attention. The only way to win in a red ocean is you just outspend everybody else around you, which is why pretty much everybody loses in the red ocean. And we never go into the red ocean because most people don't come back alive after the red ocean. The other extreme is the blue ocean. And for some reason, people think the blue ocean is just, it's pure, it's open terrain. But the problem with the blue ocean, from my experience, is that your end user doesn't even know they have a problem yet.
Yeah,
so
it's a blue ocean for a reason.
For a reason, yes. You have to first spend time and money educating them on a problem they don't even know that they have.
Yep.
And then they're like, all right, you win the arm wrestle, I have the problem. And then you have to spend time and money educating them on your solution to a problem they didn't even know they had until you told them in the first place.
And do they want to fix it?
And do they even want to fix it? It doesn't even matter enough to them. Right. And so one of the things with the blue ocean is that the majority of first movers are just paving the way for every other company to follow them. So I need you to convince me that you're not in a red ocean, because there are so many solutions in the space of hiring. And what we look for, and I'm sure you look for as well, are the pink oceans, because pink oceans represent the end user who knows they have a problem, they're trying to find a solution, and either they're taping things together, like they're duct taping it together, which is suboptimal, or they're doing nothing, but they really have a desire to solve some inefficiency. I need you to really convince me right now this is not a red ocean, because there are so many hiring solutions out there that are massive, which could prove to be wonderful, because if you fill some space that they don't fill, they might want to acquire you, but it can't just be throwing out the word metaverse. So what is going to make this different than everything else in the market?
So when I first came to you guys, I think I came with more of a blue ocean idea. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized there were so many problems and it wasn't realistic, it wasn't possible. So I transitioned it more into something that was feasible, something that was going to work for everybody. And what I built is, there's companies out there that are doing the HR, you have Bambi, but none of these companies incorporate hiring with HR capabilities. And that's where I really want to bring it home, where, it's more than just a resume platform where people bring their resumes. This is taking people to the next level of, employees are matched with employers. And I've searched this deeply. There was a company that actually started, and I think they were way before their times, but I think we are coming to a platform, and this is still, we're incorporating so much more. But it was Elevated Careers. I think they were bought out by eHarmony. But what they did is they used the same process eHarmony does to match couples, to match employees with employers. So I think using that sort of, there'll be a lot more questions being asked. And, it's something that hiring apps don't do right now. A lot, I would get, we signed up with Indeed, and I'd get hundreds of apps, and it would be people that didn't want to move here.
All right, so let's speak into the economic model. I'm still not convinced yet, but there was the $500 a month plan where you get an HR director, right? Yeah. So my concern with that is the small business will pay for 1 month and potentially get what they're looking for. But the business that you really want, who's like always in hiring mode, they already have an HR director. So how does that option, because I think that is a uniquer element of this, end up being something that's stickier? Because my fear is that like John Doe chiropractor is like, I need a front desk person, I'll pay $500, get them onboarded, but then they only need that one person. Now they're done, like they have their hire. The larger company who's hiring a dozen people a month, they already have that person. So they're not gonna pay the extra $500, they'll pay the $5 a month. So speak into how that becomes like a real sticky model.
So that, and I guess I should have done more into that, but that HR person will actually be helping with all HR processes for a company. So the same way that Bambi does HR services, which, and I guess we could change it for, depending on company size. Because, Bambi, I think starts at $100 a month and I think goes up to $250 a month for that HR personnel that's constantly helping. But I mean, even for myself, we don't currently have an HR person, but there's a lot of times that, there's just a lot of stuff that we're stuck with, with everything from hiring to hiring, firing, and just dealing with employees in general. And I think it's something that is very useful to smaller employers. And I agree with you, the 500 for smaller businesses might be steep, but I think we can incorporate it down,
All right, so Kevin, you guys must hear metaverse stuff all the time, right?
Well, I've got some, before I even get,
Okay,
so, all right, some of my background, right? Way back in the day, remember when I grew up, I want to work at, so that commercial from the Super Bowl, Monster.com, I was an architect of Monster.com, right?
Oh,
back in the day, yeah,
Very cool.
I'm a technical guy, ran a team. I remember being in a meeting and talking through what's going to happen and what's going to happen in the marketplace. And that's what happened to the nth degree where we are now. So right now, there's companies you haven't been able to find, but this problem, and it is a problem, matchmaking, there's companies using artificial intelligence, machine learning, like that problem is being solved by multiple companies that are already raising capital, which, just haven't heard of yet. So that's happening. The whole idea of integrating it with more HR capabilities, nice. I'm surprised nobody's doing it, but off the top of my head, I don't know. But I haven't heard, and it's going back to your very original question. What are you looking to do which nobody's done? Because this is an extremely noisy place.
What am I? All right. Well,
because everyone's familiar with this. So, give me one thing which is going to distinguish you from everybody else.
Because what Kevin's saying is like there's a known issue, right? Like hiring is a
issue.
Perpetual need that companies
It's painful.
have. Painful. It's frustrating. Like we put an ad up the other day, we get almost 600 applicants. We're like, okay, now what? Like that's a nightmare. We got to find a way to filter that. It's a pain. But there are many players in the industry. So what is going to make like that business not choose Monster or Indeed and then go to you? Like what is going to make 10x hiring that thing?
I think the actual, and I get that you said there's companies working on this, but I think actually be able to pinpoint those closer matches, and not only doing that, but actually make it into where it's more than just, okay, send your resume and then you got to get a hold of these people or, and try to get a hold of them to get them in. But through the app, you will be able to do interviews. I mean, just how we're doing Zoom, it can be a Zoom interview, it can be a virtual interview, or you can still set up the in-person interview. It'll incorporate more in this app than hiring apps right now are just basically resume platforms. They don't do anything to help people hire. I want to make this actually a hiring app that makes it it bring you from the resume to the starting day one for an employee.
All right. So you did say one thing, and it's a little cliche because I hear it every day. Everybody hears it every day. Metaverse.
Yeah.
So everyone says it for a reason, right? Do I believe that the problem you are looking to solve could be solved in Web 3.0? Why not? I haven't thought of it. It hadn't even crossed my mind. But you said it. So is there something there that you can use as a linchpin and something to drive forward based on? Because everything you've talked to, absolutely a problem, but there's so many people trying to solve it.
Yeah.
Metaverse and hiring, that's something. Have you even thought of that? I mean, how many people have thought of that? Like, is there something there?
Yeah.
Other than just the word, right?
Other than the word, like something concrete.
So I know that in the metaverse currently, there's people that are hiring. I mean, people are setting up businesses, setting up, job platforms, for hiring people. So I mean, to actually have a hiring app that'll help people in these spaces, in the Web 3.0 in different metaverse areas, to have something there physically that they can use to help hire for those positions, I think that's going to be a big thing.
Well, I'll challenge you to take it a couple of steps further.
Okay.
The metaverse, people throughout the world, multiple different technologies. The way we interact with each other is going to change, right? We're assuming the resumes in the format it is, just as Monster put it up, and it's gone all the way to LinkedIn and everything else which has happened.
Yep.
Right? What's the next evolution of that? If that's something you're thinking about, then maybe something based in that realm, leveraging the technology, will fall in line with where we're heading. Possibly.
There's just big dollars at play there.
There's
right?
big dollars at
there's
play.
There's huge companies that are really, and listen, we want you to either make it up or make it real and prove to us that you can make it real. And that's what we look for, right? Like, we know it's early. Like, there's no such thing as an idea that's too early for us here, right? Like, we want the napkin ideas, but what that does not give people permission to do does not have answers to questions, right? And that's why we want people to make up answers. Like, this is what we're doing in the metaverse and no one's doing this. And we're like, maybe not, but at least the response has so much certainty behind it. Let's see what our audience thinks. So what do you think of Lev's idea? Would you use this platform in your business to go out and recruit? Are you looking for a platform where you can leverage the metaverse to make it more interactive with your potential employee or even with the employee that you choose to hire? And should we move forward with due diligence? So, what are your thoughts? I did not know you were original in Monster. So
I've got
maybe Shabani.
How many different things, Yeah, every time I think back, I'll be like, I've done that. I've been to that. I've done that. It's. I think that it's a problem, and the metaverse. I think things are going to evolve. I think there's a high probability, since so much of what's happening is how we interact with each other. The digital self, the digital persona, the digital brand. To think that that's not good. I mean, today, right? People are checking people's Twitter and Facebook pages, right? When they're hiring, like, didn't used to do that. What's going to happen when we move to metaverse?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
But can someone come up with a pitch and say this is where it's going to go? And because everybody who's raising ridiculous amounts of money, they don't know.
No. But they have answers.
But they have an answer.
They have an answer.
And they got a thesis, and they're going after it. And I can't challenge them and say it's not going to work, because half the things you say aren't going to work are going to work. Half the things you think are absolutely slam dunks
fall short.
fall way short. So we just don't know.
Yeah. So I'm a no for due diligence, and the reason I'm a no is it's really a red ocean, and I did not see how to get it from red ocean with that idea into the pink ocean, which is really where we live. Like, we live in pink ocean. The stuff that's blue ocean, for us, it's just too early. It's too speculative. And the stuff that's red ocean is just death territory. Like, we're gonna get eaten alive. We don't want to go down that route. So we look for pink ocean, and there are red oceans that have pink in it still. It's just finding that space. I just didn't hear that, and for that reason, Lev, unfortunately, we can't move forward in due diligence, but great job. We appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for a second time, and keep digging into this. Like, don't let this stop you. Let this be your starting point. Let this be your catalyst to actualize your napkin into a company that's built for limitless scale, and then come back for a third time and share what you've learned. All right, after commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur joining us, sharing what's on their napkin. We'll see you soon.
Blueprinted is the place where you can go in and put those steps in there and then be able to impact the world and monetize on that by having a marketplace in the community that we're developing for you in Blueprinted.
So we've created the app for any expert to be able to come in and put their steps, their exact steps to success in our app and put it on a marketplace where people can go and buy their steps to any success.
We are back from commercial break. We have two entrepreneurs with us right now. They're going to share what's on their napkin. So please take it away. Where are you calling from, and what is your name?
Yes, sir. I'm Alec. This is Cassie. We're zooming in from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and we both go to Wofford College.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. We're very excited. You have 5 minutes. Please share what's on your napkin.
So we're sophomores at Wofford College with an idea that with the right technology, we'll create microeconomies that strengthen campus communities by keeping students connected and safe while supporting, promoting, and teaching small business ownership and entrepreneurism.
Like many teenage students, I need to make money for school and spending. I used to DoorDash, but I found out very quickly that in my college town, the job put me in uncomfortable and unsafe situations. One night, I found myself trapped in a motel with people fighting over a pizza I was delivering and was so scared I couldn't work for a week. If only there were safe, on-campus options for me to work and make decent money doing what I enjoy.
Last year, as a freshman from New York, being on a new college campus in South Carolina over 14 hours away from my hometown was very overwhelming. I had no car and no knowledge of the area, so it was hard for me to do things like find a ride or get my hair cut. Little did I know there was a student barber right there on campus. How could students like me find students like him and connect in a mutually beneficial way? This is how we came up with Campus Connections.
A consolidated platform for each university where students can offer services like haircuts, photography, oil changes, food pickup, and even student Uber substitutes. Additionally, users can grow as small business owners by selling their products like clothing, baked goods, and jewelry. Services and products will be available for students like Alec to book appointments, buy goods, and pay directly through our platform.
Here are some examples.
I've been doing photography for about 3 years now, and a lot of people at Wofford don't know, but using Campus Connections could really help me get myself out there and let different organizations know that I'm available and just find me new clients.
Hey, I'm Luke Nelson, and I'm a licensed barber in the state of Georgia. I'd love to use Campus Connections to grow my clientele and manage my bookings and my revenue. I don't want to work off campus, and so Campus Connection is the right fit for me.
I used to work in a mechanic shop, and I want to open one in the future. Campus Connections will help me with that, developing my skills while making money helping people on campus. Campus Connections, I wouldn't have to go work in my car shop, and people here wouldn't have to go somewhere they didn't know, because I would be here on campus to help them.
I like giving people rides, and I need to make some spending money working on my own time. But with Uber, I never know who I could be picking up or where I'd be dropping them off. But with Campus Connections, I can provide rides to students who would feel safer with me while also keeping myself out of uncomfortable situations. I'm connected.
I'm connected. I'm connected. I'm connected. Get connected.
We see this expanding to colleges across the country. Following the blue ocean theory, we will create a new market space and take advantage of at least 20 million new college customers every 4 years. Similar to Uber, Amazon, and Care.com, profits will be made by taking a percentage of each transaction, as well as selling user data and advertising space at flat fees and on a per-click basis. Marketing to students as customers, potential employees, and blossoming entrepreneurs at a national, regional, and local scale makes our platform a valuable and desirable place for advertisers of all kinds. Every campus having a separate portal allows advertising options for both smaller local companies like bars or arenas to target those at their surrounding colleges, and for big money advertisers like Spotify and LinkedIn to reach the most number of viewers. This is how we will generate most of our revenue.
The social impact of Campus Connections is powerful and vast. We believe there is nothing more awesome than providing Luke the tools to grow his haircutting passion from a side hustle pop-up shop into a real on-the-books business with recorded earnings, online bookings, and satisfied returning customers. Student entrepreneurs can boost their resumes, further develop their skills, and make money all while getting a college education. This is a teaching engine where students will be provided a platform with appointment setting, marketing, the ability to take payments, as well as a back-end office, which includes sales and customer data with tracking and feedback for ratings and reviews. Prioritizing the safety of member and vendor users, our goal is to stimulate and advance student-owned small businesses while enhancing the lives of all students by serving as an intermediary.
These are services and products offered in similar platforms in our industry. Here's Campus Connections' full suite. In terms of an all-inclusive platform, this is the first of its kind. We understand that with technology-based companies, first to market usually wins the majority of the share, so you're working hard to find a technology partner and start executing our expansion plan now. As seen in our video, we have clearly identified a market at Wofford College. We're here because we need the funds and guidance to develop software and market to communities and campuses across the United States and fast.
Alec and I are highly driven and motivated, and we see this as a revolutionary idea with an awesome mission and one with unlimited expansion and income potential. With the right partnership, our platform will be ready to go. Launching immediately on our own campus, where each student joins using their Wofford email, we will replicate at nearby campuses, then expand regionally until Campus Connections is an integral part of every college experience.
This is how Facebook started, specific to each individual college and with users logging in on their student emails. Look where they are now. We can only imagine where this technology will lead and the modifications and advancements that will be made to Campus Connections in the United States, internationally, and in communities beyond colleges. When you invest in our idea and in us, we will 10x Campus Connections together. Thank you.
Awesome, great job, Alec and Cassie. Where did this idea derive from? Like, when did this project start for you?
Yeah, so it started my freshman year on college. I was on a college over 14 hours away, and I had no car. It was hard for me to do things, even like get groceries. I had no friends, so I didn't feel comfortable, going off campus to get my hair cut or get groceries. And then I met this kid on my campus who is a licensed barber and amazing at cutting hair and who wants more clients. And now every single time I never leave campus and I always get my hair cut on campus and I love it. And that's where the idea started last year.
Very cool. So what exists as of today? Because I love that you have these testimonies of students, right, that are doing this and they're saying they're connected. So do you have some version of this platform that exists? Is it more of you just caused it and you had people starting to kind of share their gigs somewhere? So what currently exists today?
So what you saw on the second slide, the scrolling through, that was our prototype. We're here because we need a tech partner. We understand this takes a lot of technology behind it and creating the platform. So that's why we're here.
But as far as what we already have too, we've already talked to career centers at local colleges surrounding us, and we've talked to our students at our campus. And as you saw, everyone's extremely into the idea. We've also pitched at startup competitions within our school, and we've been able to raise some money so far as well.
Good for you, that's awesome. Before I throw it to you, I have a question. How do you get into other colleges? If we don't exist, you're doing this on your own, how do you break into hundreds and eventually thousands of universities? What is your go-to-market strategy from that perspective?
So on our own, we've talked to venture capitalists, so we would end up having to take money from them and to pay somebody to develop the technology. And then we would start at Wofford with kids logging on with their emails. Then we would go to career centers at surrounding schools and then go from there, use social media to market.
Yeah, so we would do a regional expansion, basically starting here, then going to Clemson, then USC. We've already talked to some career center advisors at these colleges. And as we would grow, obviously, we would have ambassadors from our campus and working in our company go meet with these career center offices at each college. And every college wants to see their students succeed, make money, become entrepreneurs. So everyone we've talked to so far has been on board.
Very cool. So before you ask your questions, I have a question for you. So when you look at deals, what are your thoughts on marketplaces? Because double-sided marketplaces, in some ways have the best of all scenarios in tech, and then there's also some challenge too. So what we always talk about is there's these two extremes in tech. There's the free solutions out there, like the Instagrams of the world, the Clubhouses of the world, where there's no barrier to entry. So they go from 0 to millions of users really quickly because there's no barrier to entry, there's no credit card, there's no transaction. On the other extreme are the subscription services, which can't grow that fast because people have to actually pay for them, but they are generating cash flow, and that helps because you can reinvest cash flow to then build the business out further. The marketplace model potentially has the benefit of both because there's no barrier to entry, so you get a lot of people on the platform quickly, but then you do participate in the transaction fee. The challenge is you're selling to two different audiences then, right? You're selling to the character that delivers the gig and then the character that needs the gig. So what are your views on marketplaces as an investment opportunity?
So the technology part, to me, is not so much the issue.
No.
It's how are you going to, and you asked the question, and this is why you asked the question. Expanding from school to school, not only do you have to onboard people to actually offer the services, but you actually got to educate everybody there's this platform, this portal, this marketplace for them to get those services. That's not trivial. That costs money. And you know, I used to get my hair cut on campus back in the day. So
I don't know if I want that barber. I don't know. I don't know if I can give that one a good review.
So taking a step back, you know, when I was listening to this pitch, I was like, doesn't this exist already? I'm not in college. I haven't been in college for a while. I'm assuming you're right, that this simply doesn't exist. I do like the idea of going through the career services office, because that possibly could solve one part of the equation. So I thought that was really smart. Yeah, I've got some more questions I'll get into, but the challenge for me is you were looking at a variety of services, right? So, you know, where are you going to start? Because you can't do cutting hair and Uber and everything else. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, you can't, where's going to be the unique thing you're offering that will like get people on the platform quickly, which doesn't take an extreme amount of energy to build out, but yet is significant enough that it can be replicated in hours by somebody else.
It's a really important question, like what you're saying here, because if you go really diverse, right? Like let's pretend I went to Indiana University, so I was in Bloomington, and let's say you get Indiana University, a big school, to embrace this, to roll it out, and let's say you get 1,000 students on there, which would be a huge success really quickly, that there's 1,000 students on there that list their gig. There's a chance that there could be hundreds of different gigs like that they're offering, which doesn't really solve the problem. Like, is somebody then going to use this platform to get a ride somewhere if there's only 3 drivers, where they could just go to Uber and there's already thousands of drivers they could tap into? So and you could say that we're wrong, and we love to be proven wrong, but what service would you start with that you feel like the college student is the most uniquely qualified to deliver on? It's not something that somebody else could do really easily, so you're able to create a wedge between anyone else that would try to do this. Like, where would you start from a service perspective? Or did you see this as a global solution? Like, we're just gonna solve every problem that exists through college, through students?
I mean, honestly, we did see it kind of as a global solution, and what makes it so special is that's up to the entrepreneurs at the individual college campus. It depends on what these students offer. I mean, we happen to have a licensed barber. We also happen to have a girl whose dad's a mechanic and worked at a mechanic shop all summer and is okay to changing flats and doing all that. So it really does depend on the campus, and it really is unique. I mean, it's all up to the individual if you have anything you want to add.
The power of it is that there could be such a vast variety. Anybody can become an entrepreneur, whatever they want, whatever they sell. Someone sells clothing, someone sells jewelry, just whatever builds themselves up.
That could be one answer to your question, though. I mean, a lot of college students, females, they have Instagram accounts with selling clothing lines, stuff like that, and they could definitely use this as well. It's even just to get your name out there. Like you mentioned, big universities. Imagine how many students at these big universities, state schools from out of state, that don't know who they can go to and stuff like that.
But in my mind, your biggest competitor are all those entrepreneurial people at universities which you're trying to market to. So that jeweler at that university who's pretty entrepreneurial, as you said, how easy is it to let the students around them know that they're making jewelry? How are you going to do it better, possibly from thousands of miles away? What is your platform going to do which they can't do with all the other free online platforms and social media and ways to interact with people, especially when they know those people, and then they get a viral network effect that, oh, their jewelry's great and they're on campus.
Yes, sir.
Why would they use you?
Yes, well, we plan on using an affiliate marketing strategy, so we want to offer incentives to stay on the platform, right? And that's also a problem that every intermediary company faces. That's not a new problem, but with affiliate marketing strategies, you know, our like we said about going through the career centers at colleges offer incentives, and you can offer incentives, and this goes back to our advertising with local companies. per click basis. If a student uses Campus Connections 15 different times, they could get a discount at a local restaurant or something. Or if a student entrepreneur gets 20 clicks and 20 interactions on his service that he offers, he can get a discount at a local restaurant, or even a $50 gift card for the college bookstore. I mean, colleges give money out to students like it's nothing nowadays, and we participate in many other affiliate markets.
You're hitting the market well. Like entrepreneurship is something that's like the lifeblood of our world, and in universities there's so much energy and focus on this. Like when I was in the Kelley School of Business, which is a top business school, and they just launched their entrepreneur program when I was there, and it was like a joke. Like it was like literally teaching entrepreneurship out of a textbook. Like it was like silly. Like and now they actually have things not like what you're positioning, but they have real entrepreneurial endeavors. Like they have opportunities for people to launch businesses. I think that's really hitting the mark with this. My question for you on the technology side, is it a marketplace, or is it going to be a business platform where the student can actually run their business and also get business? Like what was the vision for the tech?
Honestly, both, but a marketplace where they can list their services, a back-end office so that they can see their sales over time, have their customer ratings and reviews, things that they can use in their future for their resumes. I was on Campus Connections, I had this many sales. So we're just like a marketplace for them.
Kind of like Salesforce as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of that cloud technology, but it's a lot better instead of just having to deal with collecting Venmos from 30 different students you may or may not know, to be able to actually, go online, see these payments are coming in at these times. And we also envision ratings too. Like let's say there are three.
Let's see what our audience thinks. So what does everybody think of Campus Connections? Alec and Cassie here from Spartanburg, South Carolina, sharing what's on their napkin. An idea to support entrepreneurship on college campuses, to give a young entrepreneur a platform where they can market their services and then also run their business as well. So you hear tons of pitches. I love when young people pitch their visions. I'm sure you do as well. Yeah. So what's some feedback on the pitch? And I'll speak about due diligence.
I like the idea. I do. And this is a good thing when I'm listening to the idea and I'm like, this doesn't exist.
Yeah.
This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist. And you're telling me it doesn't exist. So the idea that I could go to any university and I can't see services offered by students at that university, if that doesn't exist, that's a gap.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's an interesting gap.
Because it's both for students and locals too, right?
Right.
Like locals want to support there. Listen, I'm a yes for due diligence. I'm very proud of you guys. You did an awesome job sharing this vision. If this truly doesn't exist, I really think you've hit something here. And I think there's a way that we can prove out your ability to scale this quickly as well, to get into these career centers and get them to embrace it, and then to really support them with the rollout. One of the things that I've seen, because I've done a lot of stuff with tech inside of universities, is they have a hard time promoting different opportunities to students. So we have to really crack the code. How do we make it really easy for the Career Center to share this opportunity with the students?
And be invested.
And be invested, yeah, exactly. Be really meaningfully invested. You've shared some really interesting ideas. I applaud you for it. Let's go into due diligence. Congratulations to you. So, all right, your first time on What's on Your Napkin. So what are your thoughts? We had two extremes here, right? So we had, let's go through the first one. We had Lev here, and Lev was talking about his 10x hiring platform, and we both didn't see it, and part of it is because
and we saw the problem.
With Red Ocean, right? And nothing that really distinguished. But there's something else that I always teach people, because I'm a salesperson. That's what I am. I know how to sell. That's my greatest strength. And I always tell people whenever they're selling something is don't back yourself into a corner. Don't back yourself to a corner just by saying something that you think is going to appeal to that receiver, because if they do ask a question and you don't have any more information, you're in the corner. And the whole just throwing out metaverse really took the pitch for, listen, it may have not gotten through anyway, but that's where we're like, wait, what are you going to do in the metaverse?
When I heard that, I was just like, okay, that's different. What's the next sentence? And put it in the metaverse, okay, what are we going to do there? And that didn't come.
So to me, it's like, oh, it's just being shared because it's the thing to say. Like, it's the lingo of the day. Because we have people pitching us blockchain ideas, NFT ideas, crypto ideas. We're like, but like, what's the utility in it? Like, why does your idea have to be built on the blockchain? And there's nothing, that was it. They just threw out the word, hoping that was going to entice us enough. And listen, if you're going to use the lingo of today, you need to be well versed on it. Like, you need to know more than anyone else that you know and we know, so that we believe that you really can execute on what's never been done before. Because having a hiring platform in the metaverse has never been done before. Like, that hasn't happened yet. Someone will do it, like you said, someone will do it, and if you're gonna be that person, you just don't throw out the word. Like, have something to back it up, or don't even share the words that will take the pitch down.
And it doesn't even have to be a whole platform. It could be some way of leveraging the technology, because we're on it, we're moving to it, that falls in line naturally, and no one is doing it. Just like, you know, having a network and using a network like LinkedIn.
Yeah, totally.
Think about how they changed it. Like, it's going to change, it's going to happen in some way or form.
Yeah. And then we had Alec and Cassie, two young entrepreneurs from South Carolina, sharing Campus Connection, and we both were like, if this doesn't exist, this is a home run. Because think about it, everybody wants to help young people. Like, they want to support them, want to get them started. And even my brothers, I have a brother in college right now, and he's doing DoorDash. And I think it's great because it's a way for him to not necessarily just do what everybody else would do, like work in making $8 an hour at the local bagel shop. Like, he's making like $30 an hour, like he's saving his money, like he's now starting to invest in it. And I was thinking to myself the other day, I'm like, I just wish he would pursue something more entrepreneurial than just that. Like, he has a really great skill set at graphic design. I'm like, I wish he would do that. Like, let him start doing a skill that could potentially lay the foundation for what he would do later on in his life as an entrepreneur, if that's a path he wants to go down. And this platform could be that platform to really help students start to experience and endeavor into entrepreneurship and allow people to support
and
them.
taking that platform a little further, and something that's crossed my mind is DoorDash, taking some of those core pieces of technology and enabling people on campus to drive it. So you own your own local fiefdom, and you drive it, and you get those revenues from delivery services. I like the idea because it's a gap, and I love the idea of getting the school invested. Because if the school is invested, it takes it to a whole nother level. Because then you have the support, you have essentially marketing, grassroots, the actual school, and then you've got people on both sides of the equation, just as you said.
Yeah,
and
that's really
the key.
support it. Yeah, so wonderful pitch from those entrepreneurs. So the reason we host this show, and we bring guests on like Kevin, is Kevin is an extraordinary tracker. I didn't know about the monster part, but I do know about what you're doing with BAM, Black Angels of Miami. And it's so important that you're creating access for angels of all ethnicities to now get access to deals and to start investing in deals, and also supporting entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds as well, to have diverse investors to support them. And I applaud you. Like I said in the beginning, angels don't get enough credit. I mean, the angels of the world are the ones that support innovation, because they're the first dollars in. They're the one betting on the entrepreneur when the entrepreneur doesn't really have a lot to bet on yet, other than their certainty. And that's what the angel is saying yes to. They're saying, yes, this is a person that can execute on that vision. So I appreciate you for what you're doing here in Miami and beyond as well. And I know that you're going to expand this thing rapidly. You're an extraordinary entrepreneur. But the reason we host this show is, yes, we want entrepreneurs pitching inside of our tech ecosystem, but we do it for our audience. Because I know every episode that goes live, there's at least one person, if not hundreds. That are seeing somebody else that looks or sounds like them, and they're like, if they can do it, I can do it. Because everybody has a napkin idea. And usually they have napkin ideas. I had someone I met recently that watches the show, and they're like, Jared, I gotta show you something. And they grabbed their phone, and they started scrolling through their notes. They had dozens and dozens of napkin ideas. I'm like, what are you gonna do with those ideas? Like, oh, someday I'm gonna pitch you on them. And that someday usually means that the idea is gonna reside where the most potential in the world resides, which is the graveyard.
And I'll add, there's so many ideas, and so many people have ideas, and it's extremely rare that the idea is actually unique. How many thousands of people have had the idea but didn't let it out, didn't share it, didn't take any steps to pursue it, and it's those who actually do the execution make things happen. And then even when you're going after an idea, it's not a straight line.
No.
It's always a pivot.
Yeah.
The idea about going to the schools, that might pivot, but in a couple of years, somebody like, wait, who founded that? I remember that. It may look a little bit different, but the core genesis of the idea, the thesis is there, and then you move forward. It's not a straight line. You're not going to create the next Facebook on a couple of lines of a napkin, but you can create the beginning.
100%.
It starts
starting
somewhere.
point. Everything starts somewhere. I'm speaking on a stage with Richard Branson in September, and Virgin started on a napkin. And think about what Virgin is today.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic brands that will live on way past Richard, like way past Richard, started on a piece of paper, but Richard never saw it that way. He saw that paper as the vision that it is today, or a version of this, and he kept on iterating and pivoting it until it got here. I invite you to be that next person. Be that next person that executes on their napkin. Head over to Pitch, you'll see right there, pitch10k.com, and become part of Project 10K, where we will build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies over the next 10 years. I want you to be one of those entrepreneurs. I want you to want to be one of those entrepreneurs. Head over to pitch10k.com, fill out the application. It's absolutely free. Our team will review it, and if we see potential, we'll invite you onto the show. So with that, we appreciate you, and we're excited to see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.